Hey guys, Phil here. Just wanted to jump in and say a few things. So, one is thank you to our listeners. We just hit number one on the Canadian marketing charts in Apple Podcasts. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for downloading. If you haven't, if you don't mind, go into Apple Podcasts and hit the 5-star review and give us a little review. We would love that. But thank you so much for listening to the podcast and helping us kind of make number one on that chart. So we're super humbled by that. This podcast is a podcast with Steve Rad. We finally did it. We rolled into a podcast and didn't introduce him and totally forgot to tell you guys who it is. So this is Steve Rad. He's the CEO of Abacus Brands. He's been on before, and we thought this would be a really interesting way to tie up some of our technology stuff that we've been talking about. A few episodes ago, Mike Nunn was on to talk about cybersecurity, and then we had this super smart guy, Sam Wong, jump on to talk about the possibilities of AI. And then Steve Rad, with all his energy and his big brain, kind of bring the whole thing together because he talks about how Abacus Brands is using AI, which we thought would be a very interesting way to apply, the things that you've heard from prior episodes. So Steve Rad, Abacus Brands, thank you so much from Kenny and I for listening to all these episodes. And we look forward to continuing to bring you more amazing Canadian people. All right? Thanks.
Welcome to This Commerce Life. We are an unscripted podcast dedicated to small businesses and entrepreneurs in the retail and consumer packaged goods space in Canada and the United States.
I am Phil Chang, co-host and co-founder.
And I'm Kenny Benucci, co-host and co-founder of This Commerce Life.
Our love is the journey to retail, and our passion is sharing that with you every week.
This whole kind of sleuth shit, I am all over it.
It's so fun. It's actually the coolest. It's probably the most into. Hey, Phil, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm good. You?
Good. We're just talking about we're filming today and tomorrow for our cold case mystery, our murder mystery game. So that's what we're deep in right now. There's police interrogations happening and all kinds of cool like videos, like security camera surveillance. And this morning we had to deface like a car. Like there's like one of the scenes, like this girl's like against like animal testing and she's like picketing outside. And we have like 360 VR cameras set up all over the streets. Yeah. Basically the consumer will effectively go into the surveillance and basically get to watch kind of like how this murder unfolded and follow the trail of like who was where, when.
That is so cool, man. It is so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah.
So is this for kids or can we play this?
This is an adult game. Yeah, it's our first 14 plus game. And it's like a straight up, we've ran multiple focus groups past few days in here and people are like just having a blast. Average time's about 2 to 3 hours to solve it. And then when you solve it, it's like, but I like it's like for me, I'm like a film school guy, so it's like an M. Night movie. Like you're like, wait, what? Like, and you're like hacking, like you're actually on real websites that like Daniel built like 18 websites, like that you like visit and you like try to find out. Wait, she was at the burger place. Hold on, what? Like, what was that? And then you're like in people's clouds. You're like in cloud storage accounts, and then like you're like hacking like WhatsApp accounts, and you're like in, it's like wild. It's so fun.
And Daniel builds that?
Yeah, dude. He like, I don't even. Yeah, I'm like,
I don't even know what the hell he does.
I don't even know what he does either. And he like showed up to like a meeting, and he had like 19 websites that he like made. I'm like, what?
That's Daniel.
What?
I know what
Daniel does. Man. I saw his little.
You want me to explain it to you? I can't.
I can't. I don't understand anything. I saw his little acting debut.
Yeah.
He did the little commercial part. Looked fantastic.
And they're
the
like,
game looks sick.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's amazing.
I can't wait to try this one. Like, so on this game, are there going to be like once you solve it? What do I have? What do I do? Do I buy new mysteries then? Or
Yeah. Everyone's kind of hung up on the whole like replayability part of it. It's like they're like, oh, what happens when I'm done? I'm like, you're fucking done. You're like, when you're done, you're done. Like, it's like, it's like when you're done with like arts and crafts kit and you like finish coloring it doesn't like uncolor itself. You know what I mean?
But I want to can I buy a different module though? Can I buy a different clue or game or different?
When you had model cars, like when we all built model cars or model planes,
they're done.
You built the plane, right?
Yeah.
Like Lego is the same. Yeah. When you buy the kit for the Millennium Falcon, you don't build a land.
You build it once and it's done.
Later, you build.
What you do is you buy the next one, though, right?
Yeah.
Then you can buy Darth Vader ship, or you buy a star,
those
an
are
X-wing.
Different things. It's not the Millennium Falcon Lego kit.
No, but I want another game. But if I solve this
TIE
one,
fighter, right? Like it doesn't work that way. So
yeah, but if I solve this one, I want to solve another one because maybe I'm going to be a cop now.
No, 100%. Like, look, we're doing like really relatable themes. Like we're doing, this one's the case of the fatal follower. She's like a influencer that's like got a makeup channel, and she's all about ethical, makeup, and shit goes sideways or she ends up dead. And it's like who follow the trail of the money or hack it into bank statements and trying to figure out who.
I love it.
But then we're gonna have a one that's like about the corporate Christmas party massacre, right? Someone ends up dead in a holiday Christmas party in an office, right? That's relatable. People have office Christmas parties.
Yeah, I like that.
There's gonna be a startup one, like your buddy, you invested a couple grand in your buddy's little startup idea, like 6 guys in a startup venture, like one of them ends up dead, and like who, you know what I mean? So we're just trying to do like really interesting, fun, relatable things, not just like murder on the boardwalk. Who the fuck?
That's old school. That's been done a million times.
What's a boardwalk? What is a boardwalk?
Well, nobody knows what a boardwalk unless you're old.
Yeah. So I mean, unfortunately, the traditional methodology of doing a murder mystery party game is like just papers and photos and whatever. Like we're doing all this additional like production and where like there's video, there's websites, there's all these other things being developed. We have an app that accompanies it, that you're scanning evidence into whatever to see what you did right or wrong. So it takes us like a year, like 6-8 months to a year for each one to get up, right? So it's a long production window. But
just tell Daniel to build websites faster. Like
I got an
AI,
right?
Working on 8-hour days.
Come
what kind
on,
of bullshit
man.
is that?
What's going on over there? You're holding
Step up, man. Step up.
You know what I mean? Soon we'll have AI. We'll have AI to be like, Daniel can teach the AI to build like 18 a day,
Exactly.
Just code the AI. Cool, man. How you guys doing? Everything good with you guys?
We're
good. It's always good.
Yeah, we're not doing anything nearly as fancy.
Hanging in there. The channel's growing. I see that I've had multiple friends of mine share with me your channel and be like, I discovered this really cool podcast. I'm like, bro,
No
come
way.
on.
I'm a 3-timer. So I'm all over this, man.
I'm like, get on the bus, bro.
Seriously,
that's amazing.
Wow. So, I didn't tell you about my vitamins being developed. I'm in stage 4 of this. Like, I'm trying to like make like Adderall basically, but like organic, right? Yeah. I want like a dialed in. There's a bunch of them in the market. There's like that Magic Mind stuff and Alpha Brain, and kind of like building out nootropics. But I'm gonna build like what would get me jacked or fired up without needing like a Dexedrine or Adderall or any kind of like a enhancement, but like in a really organic.
You need something to get hyped up.
Not hyped up. I'm a little too hyped. It's about like bringing the focus in and dialing in.
I get it.
Strategy, right? It's like if I need to do a forecast for Disney or something, I gotta there's a fucking lot of numbers need to be crunched. Like who's gonna sit here and who's gonna I can't stare at a screen that long. But yeah, that's the next nootropic venture.
So where are you developing this in the States? I would assume.
No. There's actually I'm invested in a lab here in Canada, and they're Health Canada approved. They've got they do kind of OEM stuff and white label stuff already for other folks, and people come to them and say, hey, I need your like scientists to figure out this and that formula.
You're going to be okay with all the new changes coming?
Yeah, I mean, they're on top of it. I mean, they're heavily regulated. They know what they're doing. I mean, I leave it to them. I'm just a guinea pig, and we've been spreading it out in the office. This is the 4th edition, but as batches come in, we hand it out and we're just like, okay, it's got, niacin in it. It's got, caffeine. This one's got no matcha. The other one has more, theanine. Yeah. This one's got shiitake. The other one had lion's mane. And just like, until we find the right balance of what sticks the landing, not full transparency, no one has yet been like, whoa, I'm fucking lit, which is the response I want, right? I want people to be like on. I want someone to be like, yo, dude, like I am
dialed in, baby.
Yeah, I am dialed right now.
So,
you know?
so when Daniel goes from 18 to 35 websites, then you know you got the right mix.
Daniel has no emotion,
right?
Daniel's steady Eddie.
No, but that's what I'm saying. You got to measure that way.
Daniel's like, how many calories are in this? I'm like,
exactly. Can I weigh this? Like,
can I weigh it?
What can I eat this with? Like, what's the breakdown? So
do we know the macros? Do we know the macros on this? It's like, dude, you're killing me, bro.
He's a baby.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
What are we?
So the only reason I called you on,
yeah.
One, because I like you, you know that. Two, because you're doing some cool shit. So I was, even for some of it, we've had a few people on, and him and I talk ad nauseum. You know, sort of where AI is going, where VR is going, like more. So like some of it, I just wanted to pick your brains to see even like. You know, I guess in terms of AI, like how do you use it? Not how do you use it? Like we don't know how to use ChatGPT. How do you use it? When do you use it? When do you get scared about using it? When do you worry that your creative abilities go into these wicked AI platforms? But you know, who owns it at that point? Whose is it?
Yeah.
Like how does this all play out? Like especially for people like you, because you are so intense and creative and doing shit like that. Like, do you worry about?
I don't think I've had any indication of anything that I need to worry about necessarily. I mean, you know, for us, look, you know me, I'm always trying to stay ahead of the ever growing, whatever changes or evolving, you know, methodologies of doing anything in any landscape or any market. So I feel like the minute I stop caring or think it's not cool enough for me or think it's over my head, I'm going to get left in the dust. Right. So I'm like, how do I, you know, I was watching an episode of Diary of CEO, and he was somebody else was talking about AI, and they said something super compelling, which was you either need to go run and hide, you either need to go hide under a bed somewhere and like, just fucking flip out and be terrified for your life and family, or you need to be contributing and you need to be in it, using it, teaching it, and helping it, you know, be a voice in it so that it helps grow. So I'm definitely on the latter, which is just helping do whatever I can to help nurture the situation. But look, I gave a little keynote or panel the other day at a toy conference, and it was about exactly this. How are you using AI in manufacturing toys? How are you using it to make your life better or enhance whatever the product is going to end up being for the consumer? So, you know, and I think the number one thing that everyone really picked up from it was the patience that goes into using AI, right? We all know how to use ChatGPT, like you said, but it's like there's a difference between typing into something into ChatGPT and becoming like a prompt scientist, right?
Right.
And having that patience to sit there and type something and then type it again.
And re-ask it and re-ask it and re-ask it.
And type it again. And it's like that 19th time that you ask something just slightly differently, right? And then take the same prompt into, you know, a different platform like Gemini, and then take the same prompt into Llama, or use these other language models, and because they're all going to give you different outputs, and then also using them against each other in weird ways, like, you know, hey, like Llama, like if this is what I want to happen, can you give me the right prompt to ask ChatGPT? To get what I want from it, to give me this end result, you know what I mean? Just like fucking with it, basically, you know, like in whatever way possible. Like it's like, you know, like. And then it'll give you something. It's like, no, I don't mean just tell me like what I should write. Like, can you give me a copy and paste version of this? You know, so like exactly paste in there. You know, it's like, and then so you know, just having fun in that way. I think the patience is a big part of it. I think a lot of people type something in, and then within whatever minutes they're like, it wasn't good enough. Like it's not going to give you like a perfect.
Well, it can, because it does. It answers what you ask.
Yeah.
And then I think you have to nuance it, and you may have to tell it. Listen, what I really want to know is this. And can you do it in this sort of tone? And then you read it and think, okay, it's not quite there. Can you do it again and do this now?
100%. Becoming a prompt engineer, becoming literally a very patient. That's all it's going to come down to. Everyone's like worried about losing jobs. It's like, no, man, the people that are going to be, your business is going to grow with AI. Let's say we're going to have to hire more people, right? We're all growing and scaling. We need people that know how to use the AI better. We need people that are the best people that can sit there. They're like, I have 5 graphic designers over here that I'm staring at across my desk. And it's like the guy that can figure out how to get the AI to give him the best clue as to what the end result's going to be faster, that we could go present a mock-up to Walmart or Costco with, there you go. That we're way deeper in a position that is tangible, right? So, but look, for us, a big part of this, is the whole development cycle, right? Imagine not just like the idea or the concept. We're doing market analysis, we're doing trend analysis. We're like, okay, hey, I want to do a toy about whatever, a scavenger hunt, whatever murder mystery set. Okay. First of all, what else is there in the market? Can you find me every single one of these in the market? What are the pros and cons of these top 3 that are performing the best? What does everybody hate about this number 1 selling one that's got 48,000 reviews by whatever schmo company who's made it? What do people hate about it? There's an adjustment we'll make to ours, right? What's every piece that's in it? Give me the competitive analysis. What should mine be like? How should mine be positioned? It's so complex in the sense of like what you can do even before asking it to like make me a picture. Right. Because then it's like, once you get it to that point, it's like everyone jumps to, there's one part, hey, give me an idea and give me a picture. That's like where like the current AI acumen for the average consumer is, hey, I have an idea. What do you think? Or give me some ideas about this idea that I have. Yeah, right. Give me some suggestions. And then can you make a picture of it? Oh, cool. Boom. AI. Yeah, crushed it. You know what I mean? That's where we're at as a consumer. Right. The deep methodology is like, download the reviews from this one item and run a complete analysis with charts and graphs and tables and show me, where it, seasonality, show me where it tanked when it's winning, show me the when they adapted it from a version 1 to a version 2, what did they remove, and how did that price affect this change, and what does the market look like, what is it, how many sites online are carrying this item, you know what I mean? Like, and let it go pull that data for you and be like, look, this item's listed on 96 different e-tailers, and it could be, and 4 of them you could buy in store. Like, what? Okay, that's the item. That item's doing well. Where's that price? How is it positioned? What's the size of the box? Does that matter? Does the size of the shelf, the depth of the box matter? You know what I mean? And it'll give you all that. It's just crazy. But, so for us to do all that up front and really analyze an item. I mean, dude, we used to have to go do store checks. You used to have to send one to the store, find it at a place that, find it on a shelf at Target or Walmart or Indigo or wherever, and bring it home, measure it, analyze it, dissect it. Now it's like, dude, hey, GPT, can you like find it? What kind of grade aluminum or plastic are they using in that thing? What is it? Read the test report on it. What's the BPA level on the silicone?
Who makes that thing that's in there that I don't know about, right? Like,
exactly. Crawl Alibaba, find me 3 factories that this silicone, that have listed this exact BPA formula of the silicone, and then find me the vendors where I can get this. You know what I mean? Like soon it'll call Alibaba it'll call that factory for you and schedule samples to be sent, right? But
as a manufacturer though of something that a lot of it's intellectual properties. It's shit that's between those ears of yours. Like, do you worry though? I'm trying to. Do you worry that it's that easy? Like, listen, I can, I'm not great at ChatGPT and stuff, but I know how to ask it 30 different ways. Like, I've gotten to that point to redo this. I don't like that. Can you expand here? But do you start to worry? That stuff's out there now. Like, as soon as you do it, your idea, how you looked at it, I may be able to find.
Sure.
Does that worry you?
No, not at all.
Why?
Not at all. I mean, look, everything, because everything's public, everything's there anyway. This is just a shortcut to gathering and analyzing the information.
Shortcut is because of what's between your ears. You knew sort of what to ask. Right. Like, if I can go find that now, like if I can find what you did, because in essence, I guess once it's out there, up there somewhere, I mean, it's in essence, I mean, it's not yours anymore per se.
Right. Oh, you're worried about the information you're giving ChatGPT or the AI?
A little bit of both. What you're giving, and then can someone else get it?
I mean, sure, yes, but dude, I mean, you're talking about a language model that has read every word on the internet, already knows everything anyway, right? Mm-hmm. And now, yes, we're feeding additional information, and I mean, this is like literally Internet 3.0. Like, like the information is going to go up. And we're all going to have access to it. Sure. And, are some people going to abuse it? Sure. Some people are going to get hosed because of too much data is out there and it hurts someone's business? Sure. Are other people going to get, rich and get ahead? Sure. Right. It's a wild, wild west of information. I mean, look, and especially right now, we're racing to use whatever capacity we can as fast as possible, because you don't know when they're going to shut it off or when the guardrails are going to come on and when they're going to say, whoa, this is like way too much for you to know. Right. Yeah. So,
or someone gets too much stuff, let's say, taken, and someone big enough says, oh, that wasn't the intent.
100%.
That was mine.
100%.
And you're thinking, well, not really, because used.
Yeah.
The thing I wonder about, because we don't talk about that. Like we do talk a lot about, what's proprietary, what's not proprietary, and all these sort of things. I guess the methodology is the one that I wonder about. Like, so, the process in which because the process in which you use AI right now is probably part of your secret sauce. Do you know what I mean?
That's my point. Why do you want that out there?
But I don't, no. But what I'm saying to you is I don't think that's out there. Like, I think what's out there is the output. So I don't get to see what Steve asks. I get to see what Steve is searching for.
Yeah. I know, but that's no different than the PC film. But I don't get to see the order in which Steve does it.
Right. Because the way in which he does it is part of his secret sauce. So I'm wondering if that stuff ever becomes public.
Well, can't I just ask it? Hey, why don't you chat GPT? You know that guy Steve? He did this. Can you tell me the order Steve did it in? Well, seriously, why can't I just go?
I don't know if you can get that.
Like, I don't think you can get the learning model. Yeah, right? You can probably get the ChatGPT's version of what it would computer think that we did in that process. But look, everything I'm telling you right now is outside the box thinking strategies, and we have nothing to hide. If anything, I would love nothing more than to inspire other people to think
grow the smartly for you.
Exactly. Imagine the idea. Yeah, imagine the idea spark and the innovation that will come from someone even listening to this show. Imagine some kid that's going to go, oh shit, I didn't think about asking GPT in that way or prompting it in that way. And all of a sudden now you have this spark of imagination that will create the craziest innovation we've ever seen, because you just asked and got a different answer. But ultimately, you still have to take all those results and then still compute whatever it is you think in parallel with the idea you had, or in parallel with whatever product you have in mind that you want to develop. I'm just talking about ways to, instead of hiring an analyst, instead of sending people to stores, instead of, paying people to go read audit reviews, that's a 5-minute process now. We've shortcut that to be like, okay, cool. I think I have an item that I know Walmart's going to like because I've analyzed it and I know they want $29.99 at this kind of depth and size. I've got another version of it here for Target. I've got another bundle version for membership clubs like Costco or Sam's Club. And here we go. I've got viable products that I can go to my team with. And look, done are the days, I think, for us especially, where we would make a product and be like, I hope people buy it, right? Now it's like we have the tools. Let's go properly analyze it. Let's go really spend some time in creating products for markets, for sectors in the business, and say, hey, I made this for you, Walmart. This is like, we know what you like. We know this is what sells.
Yeah, we know your consumers like, et cetera, et cetera.
Here's your version of it, right?
Yeah. So I guess it's not much different than, because you guys are both too young. I remember when we first started, when the web was started to be used a lot more for searchability on a business level. So like at London, we were one of the first that actually put up our retail prices online. And fuck, what a kerfuffle. Half the building was, what the fuck, man? You're making everybody can see your price. And my argument was always, they can fucking see your price anyway. They got a flyer every 2 weeks. And you can go into a store. And then you know what? And then we thought, okay, calm down. And then it was, now people were using like pictures to show people. You're thinking, oh, but you can't have that because now they see it so fast and they even know where it is. And you're thinking, but they could have done that before.
Yeah.
It's a little easier now. Yep. I get it, but is that a bad thing? Because if people knew I had it and where I had it, well, maybe I saved them time shopping, and they just got to the shelf faster. Maybe 100%. They bought more things because I gave them 5 minutes extra.
100%.
I guess it's all relative.
It's all relative. It's a huge, it's a generational leap here. It's a huge change. Everyone's, you should have seen the number of people at this keynote that were just afraid of, what about our jobs? What about the people that are going to lose this? Or what about the people that are going to lose that? I'm like, that's what you're worried about? Like when email came by, we weren't like, okay, what about the post office? What about the post office? What about the handwritten?
Oh no, we did.
letters?
We worried the shit about that because
Were we worried about that?
well, because again, you're too young. Oh my God, all the paper is going to be gone. You're thinking,
Yeah.
well, if anything, they created more
What
paper.
happened to the mill?
They created more of everything. If anything, you think of what the internet did for the post office. You got Amazon.
Yeah.
All we do is ship shit now.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think I love, what I love most about your process? Like when we used to launch products, we'd scramble, for the first, I don't know how many weeks or months, like going out to troll to see what else was out there. And then inevitably what would happen is we would get through like a 6 or 8 month launch process, right? And you get near the end and then somebody would show up with something, you go, fuck, like I've just been into like 18,000 markets. Like I've driven all these places I would never drive before. I could never and somebody just like my aunts, brothers, cousins, roommates, like little brother showed up with it. Oh, have you seen this? You're like,
yeah. So
at least now you can cut that crap out. And like,
well, you can also cut the bullshit up. You guys would do all that work. You get to me and I'm thinking, this is fucking stupid. I'm not listing this.
Yeah,
as opposed to Steve, what you're saying is you could go to someone and say, well, that's, where you could actually come to me and say, listen, you know why you think, I agree. I know you realize this is stupid, but just so you know, we've built this for you. And here's how I can tell you that in your store. Then you start walking. Then I'm thinking, well, fuck, maybe this actually will work.
Yeah.
And we'll be right back.
Phil, I understand we have a new sponsor.
We
coming
do.
on board.
We do.
Anops.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
we do.
Because it's me and we've set the bar low enough over the years. What the hell is GainOps?
So we had Nimesh on the podcast before, and GainOps.
Nimesh is so smart, man. Nimesh is in a whole world of.
He's a smart guy. And GainOps is their tagline is experts in analytics, data, and revenue.
Okay.
And so if you think of these are the guys that when you're a small medium business and you're starting to grow, you have spreadsheets and spreadsheets and spreadsheets of data.
Please don't do that to me. You know that's my world.
I know. So that's things like it could be simple things like inventory or sales, like shipment data. It could be
tracking data
point of sale data, master data.
Okay.
And the problem is when you start storing everything in spreadsheets, you start to lose track of what's what, where's where, what's up to date, what's not.
Well, it's hard to get them to talk to each other, and like it's just so much work.
So Nimesh kind of helps you with all of those things. He helps you organize your world, but he also gets you into the bigger picture things. So for example, if you need to organize yourself because you want to get investors on board, he is that guy that organizes your data and helps you get board reports out so that your CFO isn't, kind of scrambling to build reports every month to give to investors. It could be pre-built canned analytics. So, Kenny, you're sales and I'm marketing, and you and I are going to want to talk every month about how many people are coming to the website, how many people are converting, how many people are buying things, what does our shipment versus our sales, our ship share look like, all those sort of things. And so Nimesh and GainOps, they do all of this stuff. They kind of help you get your world in order without having to dive into systems and marry data together and figure out what timing works and what charts should look like. They have a wealth of this experience that they can help you with.
Okay, cool. It sounds like it's good for any size of business, even a little smaller,
Yeah. And they have a lot of experience, so it doesn't matter what you use. I think that's the thing is you could use something like Microsoft, Power BI. You could use Dynamics. You could use Oracle. You could use whatever.
Okay.
They know how to kind of use all of these platforms and kind of sort you out. So
I'll put it all together for you, so you're not scrambling like I normally am.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
So
don't be like me. Use something like GainOps.
Yeah. So it keeps you from diving into spreadsheets, and then it also keeps your world organized. And then the cool thing is, Nimesh and his team. We've been doing all these series on AI and tech, and Nimesh and his team really understand how to use those AI tools and integrate them with things. So if you want better forecasting, you want to use AI for that. If you want modeling, and you need to use AI, Nimesh and his team are those folks that kind of help you integrate everything together.
Very cool, buddy boy.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you an A+ for explanation and for selection of sponsorship, because even this one makes sense to me.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. So if you want to check these guys out, go to www.gainops.com and check them out, and then talk to Nimesh. You can hit him up on LinkedIn. It's Nimesh Jaspal, Jaspal, or just go to GainOps and hit the Talk to Us button.
Awesome. Very cool. Thanks, buddy.
And now back to the podcast.
Yeah, this goes back to, remember, I don't know if it was the first time I was on the show or not, when we had that idea about the VR, where you could see it, where you could see like the items in VR, right? And it was just like, it's so early. I mean, we have to get every buyer and every single person a headset where they can like be in their aisle and see the actual merchandising of, instead of going to the planogram room there, it's like, they're in it and you could put different products in it. But I mean, like you see like how every single app and every single probably piece of software you currently use yourself already is adding their AI piece, right? Like we just got it in our forecasting tool now has the AI in manufacturing. Right. It's obviously forecasting was always built into QuickBooks or into, Oracle. Right. Now it's thinking a little bit more progressively. Now it's like, forecasting on steroids, like the delivery and logistics part is the piece that I'm most excited about. It's like, I want to just give the system orders. I want to be like, here's the Sam's Club, order or pallet program. Figure it out.
Figure it out, man. I don't want to do this. Just figure it out.
Like I got whatever 100,000 units in China, and here's the orders, and it's going to 18 DCs. Fucking figure it out.
The best way to do that.
I'm gonna sit here and like ask some freight company to like quote it. Am I going to palletize? Am I going to air freight some? Am I going to, is it going to go to around the Panama Canal? Is it going to Savannah? Is it going to LA? Are we shipping to Vancouver?
Do you even care, right?
Cross dock it over into Seattle. What the fuck am I doing right now? I'm like, here's the goods. Here's where it needs to go. Tell me where to route it to.
And ideally, when I look at it, then I hit another button that says submit, and you just go do it for me now.
Exactly. It sends the POs to the truckers, to the freight companies. It gets, it drives itself to the port, and just loads up. Yeah. But
self-driving cars.
So let me tell you one other thing I've been doing that's been super, super fun. Okay. So aside from like product optimization and, all this stuff I've been using it, of course, in a little bit of contracts and like it's looking at things, but we started working with influencers and started working with creators and influencers for the first time. And these are, we've done licensing deals with, Bill Nye and Penn and Teller, MasterChef, all these folks. And it's always been a very traditional process, right? It's like there's a forecast, an MG that's required to go along with it, a guarantee up front. And, there's marketing allowances, there's deductibles, blah, 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 royalty rates, blah, blah. With the influencer model, it was really fun to throw this at AI. And I was like, hey, okay. I was literally stuck. Like it was a perfect classic AI moment of like, I didn't know what to do. I've never done an influencer deal. It's super different. And I'm like, okay, let's work this backwards. Let's go to the GPT. So I'm like, hey, here's what I want to happen. Here's what I think it should happen. Here's what would be ethical for me and for the other party in terms of this deal. Here's the end result. I love going in with the end result, right? This is like what I want to see. If I had a magic wand, this would happen.
This is what I want.
This guy would make this much money. We would make this much money. We would be happy. I would feel like I, did served them correctly. We, it'd be a mutually ethical business practice, right? And it's like, give me the output. Give me the now work. Like, I gave you the result. Give me the math. Show me the work on how that could happen. And it did it. And it worked it backwards. And effectively, the reason why this deal is different is because we're not paying an MG, for example. We're not giving this influencer who's, let's say, whatever, got 20 million followers. We're not going to give him a guarantee because we're not going to use his name or her name as a caveat to sell it or get it into stores, right? We're going to target their audience. So I don't need to necessarily put up money, but I do need to put up money to invest into the development of the item and repackaging, redoing the app and whatever other things we're going to add to it. Let's say we're in $100K in dev cost, right? But then what? It's like how many units do I need to sell to get that 100K out? How many, now the royalty instead of a normal, let's say 10, 15% is like a 20, 25, 30% because we didn't have to pay them anything. They're doing the marketing, right? So it's got all these different kind of nuances that's interesting, but at the same time, again, you feed it the answer and you're like, hey, work this deal backwards for me. And what should I go to this guy's agent and present and try to do this deal with, because we want to drive it, through him. And then it's like, and then once we recoup our money, when can I start spending money in advertising? Because I've recouped my investment, right? So it's kind of funny. It's like once you hit, 56,000 units, it's like, then you could start a marketing allowance of, 8%. I'm like, fuck yes, let's go.
That's crazy.
So cool to work it that way, and like licensing and get like a forecast analysis, and even for it to go and look at the reach of that influencer, right? It's like, go look at the reach of that influencer, go analyze their data, look at their trends, look at their videos. What's their average, CPM? What are they getting? What kind of reach are they seeing? What kind of engagement are they seeing? How many, have they done these type of products before? What other deals have they done? Do you think, how long before we penetrate X amount of users potentially to get 3% sales out? You know what I mean? It's like so wild to get that kind of breakdown in an influencer deal. But and then all the meanwhile, taking the content, and now we have tools, of course, that can, change languages. I can record a picture commercial. I can pop it into one of these new AI tools, and it's in Chinese, it's in Spanish, it's in Japanese, whatever I want for my distributors around the world to use in my voice, in whatever the pitch or the same voice that was recorded in. Changing the songs. I mean, we're doing user generated content, UGC, right now in AI on a level that you've never seen before. I'll send you some videos later, but I'm talking like there's a guy sitting on a couch just like you are right now, and like he's holding my product in his hand, and he's like, the Bill Nye Rocket Lab is the greatest thing you've ever seen. It does this, it does that. This is a script that I fed. This is a human that doesn't exist. I didn't have to ship him a product. I didn't have to, pay him, I mean, I paid for the service, but it's like a guy on a couch casually broing out on the item. If you've never seen anything this cool in your life, you need to check this out, blah, 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 blah. You would literally think, it's my family's watching. They're like, who's that guy? How much was he? I'm like, bro, this is like a fake human that just did a UGC campaign, like free, right? So that's wild to me. That's that, as the tools get better, there's a song, my other brand, backdrop.com, a song that we wrote for Backdrop that is so infectious. It's 100% AI made. You would think I hired Taylor Swift to sing a song for Backdrop. Okay. Seriously. I swear to God, it's so infectious that I've been warned by the office if I play it one more time, because people it's been in heads for weeks. Okay. And I had to go back actually and reinvestigate what I wrote. It took me a while to get back to product, because I was like, it's so good. The song is so beyond good. I'm like, what prompt did I give this thing? Like, how did it come up with this? It's a minute 38, right, of a song, of a track that's out of this world.
Okay, where is it?
Okay, here, you want me to send it to you?
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
It's absolutely mind-blowing fire. I wonder if I could play it here.
Well, try playing it. Well, now it's going to be stuck in my head.
And it just sends you the live published link. But so
anyway, I want to see if it works. I'm curious now. Otherwise, I'm gonna bail on you for a minute, and I'm gonna listen to the tune.
Yeah, it's right here. I have it.
That doesn't seem very polite.
That doesn't seem very polite.
That's why I didn't do it.
Here we go. Oh my God, so good. Okay. I wonder if I can just send you this link. Can you see it in the chat?
I should be able to, yeah.
Yeah, let's see. I mean,
well, one of you hit play. I'm not doing it.
Can you hear it? Did you just hear me play a song right now?
No.
You didn't? Okay. I don't know if it lets you play a song.
Unless Phil hits play. There's something.
You hear that?
No, I think it mutes.
You guys can't hear that?
No.
It's just static.
Just static. Anyway, it's like unbelievable, dude. It's like It's a here. I think. Oh, here we go.
I know how to do it. Hang on one second.
Put it on your phone. Phone it to the mic.
No. I'm just gonna share my screen. Video.
Oh, old school.
I just need to find the right link. This one. And then I'm going to play it. So you should be able to hear it now.
Yep.
It's about backdrop.
A party without it's not thrilling. And I cry. I'm at close shop.
I got people in the office that like going.
That's hilarious. Sorry, office. I'll stop the.
No, keep going. It's fire.
Oh yeah, all right.
Yeah, keep going. It gets better right here.
I want to hear it.
I just missed the best part. Taylor Swift, bro. A photograph just can't compete.
That's hilarious.
Lights down low, let the spotlight glow. Without a backdrop, no memories to show. Tell me, what's the game? If the pictures all look the same, you need that flash, that sizzle, that pop. Can't stand against a plain backdrop.
Fire, bro. Okay, you stop it.
That's amazing.
That is awesome.
That's
Absolute,
amazing.
Oh my
absolute
God.
fire. You know?
Like in the old days, that would have taken you months in the studio.
Yeah.
You would
Are
have
you
paid
kidding
someone
me? You would
$1
have
trillion.
Yeah, $1 trillion. You would have had
Like
to hire
seriously.
a songwriter. You'd have to
Like
hire
you would have had a
vocalist.
crew.
Bro, can you
Booking
imagine?
studio time, and you'd have to go in there and remix and
You know?
overdub and all
Dude.
over the place.
Dude, can you believe it? I mean, like
Like
at
a
least
shit show.
at least on a good day that would have cost 30-40K
Easy.
easy to go like do like a little spec song for like a commercial or a thing that you're trying to do.
Oh my God.
And you could choose like and that's called Udio. It's a fire site, but you could choose like the genre, like pop, rock, like moody with jazz. Like I've done so many tests with like so many jingles. There's a company that we do commercials with out in Italy, and they were like, and you would look at jingle with this song, and I'm like, dude, take your jingle guy out back and shoot him. You know what I mean? Like I've got the jingle game on fire.
I got the jingle guy, and I got 20 jingle guy. What language you want it in?
You want jingles? Badges?
I give you jingles.
Yeah. So.
Oh my God.
So the last thing I wanted to tell you that I'll blow your mind here is that it's one of the last pieces that we've found most effective that we've been doing in generating stuff is asking the AI to, if it knows what I'm asking it, right? Almost like being like, okay, hold on, AI, stop.
You actually understand me.
Yeah. Are you actually know what I'm talking about? Or you actually know what I do? Why don't you ask me 10 questions about this market or this product so you could better understand, like interview me, right? Yeah. Like I want a full kind of interview. I would like to be interviewed in depth about this or that, whatever, or I'd like to be interviewed on my theory or process of what I want. And then it's like, okay, now that you've embodied, the voice of the brand or the voice of the product, now and go ahead and give me a whatever your analysis on whatever marketing strategy or audience that I'd like to build for, whatever campaign I want to design or implement, right? So one step deeper on this, and this is my favorite shit in the world. Okay, this is like my new thing. So forget about interviewing me. I'm like, I was sitting around one day. I was like, what would be the most fucking wicked person or thing to have as like a friend or like a, as a mentor, as like someone that was like in the office. I'm like, who's my jam? Gary V. Okay, Gary V. Richard. I'm like, this is what I'm gonna do. So I go talk to some of the dev guys here. I'm like, guys, I have an idea. Cool. Is this possible? And we all tossed around some ideas. We're like, dude, we're gonna build Gary V as an assistant or as an employee, as someone that works here. Okay. I'm like, guys, I need every book. I have a few of them at home. I brought some in. We start scanning pages, transcribing Gary V's books. Okay. I'm now building a Vaynerchuk assistant that's going to sit here at the office that I can talk to. Okay. And instead of asking AI for advice, I'm asking Gary Vaynerchuk for advice. Okay.
You know what's great about that? He's sitting now at home with in front of AI thinking, okay, fuck, so how do I get a licensing deal back? And it's retro to the idea stage.
Yeah.
First time Brad bought a book, that's how far back we're going.
Dude, I took like all whatever 6-7 books of Gary V's, fed them into AI.
That's
right.
mental.
I took all of his like keynotes for the last 5 years, keynotes, plug them into AI. I was like, we started asking it some questions. I'm like, no, it's not there yet. I'm like, go find some personal stuff on Gary Vee. Go find some personal shit. I want some empathy because he's about kindness and you know the giving back. I'm like, I want it to have heart. I want it to have emotion. So we went and fed 5. I go deeper. Go back to like wine library Gary Vee. Go like back.
We find high school footage on Gary Vee, right?
Yeah, I want like struggle Gary Vee. I want the fucking grit in there. They went and got scrubbed, dude, so much content, and they fed this bot like so much Gary Vee juice. And then we're like, okay, all right, here we go. First question. I'm like, you know, and now we're doing the voice thing now. So now we're gonna make it so it could like speak and be able to actually, you know, be like emotion and empathy and like fuck your parents. So you know, so then he would just basically go in like, hey Gary, how would you approach the new cold case, you know, game that we're about to release for the, you know, it's our first time doing an adult game. What would be some marketing around it? What would be some content? What are the audiences we should build, or what are the audiences we should target? And now I'm not just asking fucking basic bitch vanilla chat GPT. No offense, GPT, because I know you're listening. You know, like it's like, you know, now I'm asking Gary Vaynerchuk for advice.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now I'm getting like straight from the horse's mouth. Like, you know, this is the way I would build the audience.
And maybe even a better version of Gary Vee.
You know, yeah, maybe
it's new and improved, and he doesn't even know it. Maybe he should be paying you.
Gary, if you're listening, bro, I'll license it to you, okay?
Exactly. That makes reverse licensing. We made you better.
You know what, Gary? The only way you get this is if the VR version of Steve Rad is in your office.
Yeah.
That's got to be part of the licensing deal. So you got to ask Steve questions.
Yeah. Folks on you, Steve. But anyway, so that's. I mean, look, you go build a bot. Whatever your thing is, go build a bot on Warren Buffett. You want investment advice? There's you know, all that shit's public. Go buy the books, you know, feed them in there, buy the transcripts, you know, download them.
All the talks he's done, interviews, TED Talk, blah 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 blah.
All public shit, and the narrative is the same. You know, if you followed Warren for whatever a decade or Gary for a decade, you see the underlying tone's the same. They're the same person. Yeah, trends change and things, you know, maneuver, but it's like at the end of the day, they have the same mindset of the same agenda, what their philosophy is on that subject, right? So if you're trying to build a portfolio and like you've had Warren Buffett at your fingertips, like, hey Warren, like, you know, this whatever stock taking a shit, and I'm looking at whatever housing, or I'm looking at this. What do you recommend? Imagine like the kind of advice you get, right? Like we should actually just build an app that just has all these people in it, you know. Like it's already there. Like, oh, I've already built you, Gary Vee and Warren, and you go.
I'm trying to figure out what
Kenny.
You know,
I'm trying to figure out how they're going to come back at you. No, see, I go the other way. I'm just thinking now that I'd be thinking this is a great idea, love it. Okay, now what's the problem? Because now I'm sitting there thinking, if I'm Gary Vee, I think, oh, that's great. You know, what do I get out of this?
Yeah, or Gary Vee's thing. You know, yeah, sure. I mean, yeah, if you try to monetize it, it can be problematic. I mean, Gary Vee could come back and be like, hey, I wouldn't have answered it that way, and you told. That you've got an audience that thinks that this is what I would have told them to do.
So, you know, sort of
and
defamation
or something. Bankrupt and living under a bridge, and he said because Gary Vee told me to do so.
Exactly.
You know, or the opposite. You know, one kid is an ex-trillionaire. You know, and we're like, you're welcome. Fucking Gary Vee told me to do it. You know what I mean? So
I don't know. Yeah. Again, I think that's sort of the fun shit though right now.
Or
the fun / scary / interesting / whatever is like, where does it all go from?
Yeah.
From there, right?
Yep. 100%.
Wow.
So yeah, man, that's been our out of the box AI, you know, thinking around here. There's, you know, a team here that we're pushing every day to just come up with different fun, engaging ways to, you know, like we have in our whatever morning 10-minute meetings every day at 10 o'clock, or we call it our 10 by 10. It's like, someone give me 1 or 2 creative ways that you engaged with AI today. And how did you use it? What did you learn? Did you, you know, somebody came out with a graph the other day, like a cool infographic that they created of like a Scooby-Doo truck and our core values as a company with, on a Scooby-Doo truck as tires. And it was like a really cool infographic. We're going to print it and post it. It's just fucking badass. Like, it would have cost me whatever, thousands to hire an artist to make me an infographic.
Tens of thousands.
So
does this Dano do this shit too?
Dano's involved for sure. 100%.
I don't know just be careful with him, man.
He honestly, I went up to him the other day. I was like, I don't know. He was making coffee. I go, hey, I don't know if I've told you, but I don't know how I was living like without you. I don't know how this company was functioning before you got here.
Oh, that's so funny.
And he was like, oh, that's like the sweetest thing anyone's ever said to me. It was like, we almost both cried like at the coffee machine, like 9 a.m. I'm like, honestly, dude, like the shit that you've done so far in the short time you've been here with us is like mind boggling to me. Like, thank you so much. And it was just like, we had like this super, awkward moment in the morning. I'm like, okay. Well, people right?
Oh, it's all good.
Yeah. No, I love him. I love him. Thank you for trusting him with us.
Thanks. I not for, and the reason I'm not because I want to plug Dano is you know what it is, because I know Dano's personality and I'm trying to understand, because he's so freaking analytical and he's so Daniel, like he's just Dano's Dano, right?
Yep.
And I'm trying to picture him using this shit, because to me, if Dano embraces this shit and uses, fucking anybody can. 100%. And not because it's because Dano just doesn't.
He's not old school. He's just traditional in the sense of like.
Exactly. That's maybe what it is.
He's very ones and zeros. He's very like, even when he's non-emotional. Like when I'm like super juiced up about an idea or something, and I'm like, dude, and then this and this and this. I'll call him in, I'll show him something, super cool, and he'll just be like,
that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then I'll be like, done. I'll be like, okay, so like, okay, like go do that. Go make that. Like, yeah, he's like, And I'm like, what are you still thinking about?
Because that's down.
How are you still? What are you processing?
Why are you still here? Go do something.
You have questions? Ask me a question. But yeah, he's like so just chill. I mean, I wish I was that guy. I'm not. I married one of those people for that reason.
Yeah, I'm just more interested because I just think it's such a. I just love the fact that someone like, because he's in the, I guess I don't want to talk about my son this way, but it's really cool that he's doing shit like this, and because their personalities are so different, and that he's in the space. Because if Daniel can do this, like then even his old man can do it, right? Because it's trying to figure out how to use these mediums and how to use these new technologies, and how like your personality is so you.
Yeah,
like, I know you're going to be on this all the time, and Phil's probably 2 steps behind you, and I'm about a quarter mile.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not because I don't even know. Sometimes for me, I just probably overthink it, like Daniel might. I'd look at it and think, okay, but how does this work?
Yeah, but that's that. I mean, look, this is a very healthy environment for a person like that, right? And he's already tech savvy, but if he's kind of stuck in traditional ways, if there's anyone that's going to push him to just keep thinking and ideating on a different level is going to be us, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So there's 100%. Cool. Well, again, thank you.
Amazing.
I'll bring some vitamins by soon.
I have a question about VR.
Yeah.
How's because it feels like VR is kind of slowed, like we've kind of stopped moving a little bit.
Maybe we just don't know what to do with it, really, or something.
No, I think part of, so my perception is, one is you were talking about it, and we were talking about like VR products, and part of the problem with those things is adoption, right? Because it's like everyone needs a headset, or everyone needs like if you think of the three of us talked about doing a VR podcast, for example, right? But the adoption is the same problem, right? It's like, you got to have one, I got to have one. We got to figure out how to get one to Kenny, and then we got to teach Kenny how to put it on, and then not have him bitch about it, and then actually have him be able to get in there. So
all right. We know I'm the challenge for the three of us.
All I'm saying is, like, I feel like adoption has kind of like really slowed down, right? So it feels like we stopped with some kind of regular games, and that's it,
It's very interesting you bring this up, because I think we all, me especially, thought that with the Apple VR Vision Pro announcement that shit was just thought it was gonna be like, Apple's in now, here's their goggles, a wildfire frenzy, and everyone was gonna be walking around the street with goggles on. It's I think it's still in its infancy, in the sense that and VR is now slowly or rapidly shifting into just XR, because I think everyone realized that, hey, I don't want to be, even though I have a headset on, I don't want to just fully be in another place. I like the idea. I think the consumer loves being able to see their existing environment and having whatever overlays being, augmented reality overlays, and being able to kind of switch it on and go from whatever other world to a tangible world where they can see, right? So that's definitely the future, in my opinion. And I think until these goggles or headsets or headwears become, lighter and easier to just have on and manage and become a part of everyday thing, we're still, you're still limited.
You need to work them into my glasses. Like, I don't want to add shit.
Exactly.
Have it small and attached to it. I'm good.
And that's where the Meta Ray-Bans are trying to be, right? But it still doesn't create that immersive wraparound. Even if it's just a cool Star Trek thing that you put on that's light and I can see through it all times.
Like Jordy used to wear because whatever you couldn't see that bullshit.
Exactly. Yeah. Be able to imagine being able to change the prescription on it, on the lens, like as you need to, for people that wear glasses, for like as your eyes, like imagine just having an overlay on everything. Yeah, sure. But I don't know, man. I think having, for us, we were very all about our metaverse strategy for a while, and how are we going to create ads and marketing for that? And it's like, okay, let's just repivot to this strategy. Being, we're still on, Instagram and TikTok strategy. So. I mean, look at, I'm heavily invested in a few companies like Unity and some of those apps that develop AR, VR software, and they're not doing well at all right now, right? Because I think 3 to 5 years before, Nokia wants to do a 360 ad.
It's just early, right? It's just early. It's just the beginning, right? It's still early.
Yeah. So, I mean, so to answer your question, it's not. I mean, look, it's good and bad for our business, right? For the VR toy game space, that it gives us still the adoption is slow and people understanding it slow, but it gives us an opportunity to be the first to introduce it, or be the first to. We're still the first on a lot of occasions to put a goggle on a mom or dad's head or a kid's head and show them a volcano erupting in whatever Hawaii, in VR, and just have that jaw-dropping moment. And I would love to remain as the first time you ever saw VR as a child, and whoa, was that one, Bill Nye set that exposed me to VR for the first time, right? That's an amazing position to be in. But and I have a feeling the faster this thing moves along, the faster, once it does get full on widespread adoption, it's going to be a runaway train. It's going to be like the stuff, you're making better be the greatest shit anyone's ever seen, right? Because it's like, whoa, now you're, whatever you're doing now with, zombies or working out or you're doing your banking, you're going to the ATM in VR, right? Imagine it's just like how are you going to keep up with that? Your old volcano is obsolete, So once it pops, it's going to move quick. But you're absolutely right. It has definitely shifted. I think the AI wave was so big. It was so just
it's easier for people to do those, Steve, too, right? Because I didn't need the goggles. I don't need anything. I got a computer. He shows me a site or you show me a site, I just go. I may not be able to use it as well yet, but I mean, it was not complicated. Very limited entry, barrier to entry. No fucking around with my face. I don't get seasick or motion sickness. It's easy.
Yeah, 100%. Would you agree that the AI tidal wave came in so hard that it almost wiped out any discussion crypto, NFT, metaverse, all of the things that were happening, this fucking tidal wave, dude. Just
it was easy for normal people to get. If you ask people crypto, you too might understand it. I understand. I get that the blockchain, Yay team couldn't give two shits about crypto. NFTs, you and I've had. I'm holding my sports card. You go buy your NFT bullshit. I don't care. It means nothing to me. AI, I totally get because I have an application. I can use it. And that's the difference. The other things is, I like cash. For a million different reasons, and I don't give a shit. It's old school. You go track something digital versus cash in my pocket. You tell me which one you can find faster.
No, man. The AI, the train is here to stay.
It's moved, man. It's like lightning speed. Again, I think it's because the masses could catch on. That's where VR. If VR got to the point where they could do something, where it's just a small band on the top of my glass that I don't see, we go VR mental.
Yeah,
But it's too complicated right now. You got to. It's not there yet. That's
well.
all.
I mean, look, Apple reported whatever 180,000 units of the Vision Pro sold, and they reported that they have whatever pre-orders for another 200,000 units, and they are going to develop a second one. That's always a good sign, right?
Yeah, that's good.
So they just released the new Vision Pro 2.0 software, so they're updating the software.
So they're still putting R&D.
Yep, they said there's 2,000 apps in development, which means that developers and agencies and development houses out there making content, which is great, right? So if people are developing on it, they're growing the software, they're enhancing it and optimizing it. That's a good sign in the right direction. So
yeah, for sure.
It's a matter of time before Apple comes out with a $300, $200 version, and everyone's got a device on their face, and Bob's your uncle, right?
Yeah.
So. Yeah. I mean, what does the Apple Watch cost? That's like $500 to $800, right?
Yep.
On your wrist. So there's no way they're going to be able to get it less than that cost, right? If it's on your eyes and around your face with that much more screen, right? So it's like, I don't envision a world where Apple's going to come out with one under $1,500 that's going to be like 8K, whatever, full, res that you want, right? Which is great for us because I sell a $40 educational VR set, so. Puts me in a great position to scratch that itch at $50.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I love it.
Wow.
Love it. No, yeah, thank you for that. That helps a lot actually. Because I was thinking about when we were coming on here, I was thinking about that. I was thinking because that's what we were talking about last time. But I do feel like the whole it's actually kind of a funny thing, right? Like you were on a year ago? And like, look at what
oh my God, the world's upside down.
That's the shiz. And now all of a sudden we're like, sorry, what's VR again? Like, what
exactly?
Virtual what? Like, who cares?
Right? I mean, we haven't started adding AI to any of our VR stuff. We have added AI to this Pixie. Have you heard of Pixicate? Have I showed you this thing yet?
No.
This is a company we partnered up with. But they basically created a toy where you can draw anything and take a picture of it, and you can turn it into a game. So you draw a pizza and a stick figure, and they're like fighting, and it's wild, right? It's color coded. Anything you draw in green is like your avatar. Anything that's red is like your hazard or fire, and you can create head-to-head games, and it's wild. It's so wild. So we're relaunching. We're helping rebrand and relaunch them, but it's basically. The coolest thing you've ever seen, and they just added AI to it so that you can create assets. Like if you wanted to draw whatever ninja, you don't know how to draw a ninja, you can AI.
See, that would be freaking cool, man.
Yeah. So that's really cool. New kind of approach to I'm drawing stuff, but what if I wanted a ninja star dragon in here with holding wearing a in and out hat. You know what I mean? All of a sudden you can put that into your game. So you're making games with your mind. You're now drawing with a prompt and gamifying it. It's wild. It's just crazy.
It makes me feel well, I remember as a kid when I had my first computer was a Commodore 64, like probably everybody my age. And then you could get magazines when they give you like a billion lines of code that you could make a basic game out of, right?
Yep.
But like kids like me, you'd literally sit there and go copy and paste every line, right? Like literally copy type. And then you inevitably you'd shift a line around or something and it'd fuck up all your shit. But and so now you're talking about doing that, but without any of that crazy crap, right?
Yeah. It's an unbelievable item. I'll share it with you as soon as it's ready. But it's we haven't seen jaw dropping moments like this in a while, where like a kid can test it, and kids like are like emotional. Like I created a game, it's like without coding, without anything, really, right?
Crazy. So that's really crazy.
I just think of all the other applications you could do from a learning aspect. With kids, especially kids, maybe autistic kids or kids who have trouble expressing or describing things, if they could pencil out and you know what I mean, or like it could be like a game changer as a learning aid.
Yep. Like
an insane game changer.
Yep. Wait till imagine when schools start implementing, like that's gonna be a slippery slope with between safety guardrails. And there's a company that was trying to release a teddy bear GPT thing at the recent toy show, and it was getting mixed reviews. You know, people were like, okay, it's kind of cool. I don't know.
Scary, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know if I want my kid, you know, alone in a room, like at night, going to bed, like with Chat GPT access in the form of a teddy bear.
Yeah.
You know? Like, what are the guardrails on this thing? You know,
Well, there better be a lot of guardrails because we don't want Teddy
You know?
telling us things that we don't need to know.
Yeah.
Or hooking us up with people we shouldn't be talking to.
Exactly. Or Teddy telling me how to kick somebody's ass, or Teddy telling me how to, you know, whatever, solve a problem. I don't, you know what I mean? I like that. That's
I don't know. Teddy doesn't need to be on 20. You know, we can sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
no Teddy.
Yeah. No Teddy.
No Teddy.
Scary. Teddy, scary. Steve Rad, this is amazing.
Always
buddy.
fun.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
doing this.
I always appreciate you. Always a great session talking and just brainstorming. I always leave this show like with like the craziest ideas, and I'm like, fuck, this was like, I don't know if this was good or bad for me. You know,
It's good for me because it inspires me. Because now we're gonna hang up on you, and I'm gonna drive him crazy for a little bit, trying to figure out how to do some of your shit and the shit we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Well, I got your back anytime you need me for anything.
Are we on tomorrow or no?
We are on tomorrow, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you guys always for having me.
Thanks so
Thanks
much.
for coming on.
Yeah.
Appreciate you
Go
very much.
do something now. Go work.
Yeah, let me go make some magic happen.
Go
Okay.
do some work. Go bug Daniel.
Thank you guys.
See you.
Take care, buddy.
Take care.
Bye.
Cheers.
Ciao.
Bye.